And welcome on back, everyone, to episode 134 of Streaming with the Mouse. Not in a galaxy far, far away, in a time long, long ago, Star Wars Celebration happened. We are finally here to talk about it, but it's kind of good. The hype died down, so now you can take it in and not go off the hype of Celebration. Actually think about it. Stay tuned, relax, and you're listening to Streaming with the Mouse. And welcome on back, everyone, to episode 134 of Streaming with the Mouse. My name is Cousin Paul Robinson, and joining me, as always, is my co-host, my co-pilot, the Star Wars to my Lucasfilm. I don't know.
Jesus,
work. I mean,
that was probably one of the worst ones.
I didn't really know what to go for because we have a lot to talk about, more than just Star Wars, which is one other thing outside of Star Wars that I've never seen before in my life. But Cam, how are you doing?
I am good. I'm very excited to talk about Star Wars. I feel like it really has been a while. We literally talked about Obi-Wan like a couple weeks ago, but I feel like I haven't talked about Star Wars on this podcast in a long time because we've been so into the Miss Marvel thing. So I'm excited to talk about some upcoming Star Wars news and talk about what we're looking forward to because we got a lot coming up and it's really exciting.
We do, and some good, some really good, some...
I don't care.
Sure. I'll probably still watch it. We'll see. But I'm just going to jump right into it as we have about 7 items to talk about that were the 7 big things announced at Star Wars Celebration. I'm going to start at 1, and there's nowhere else to go but up here, as we're going to talk about Star Wars Visions Season 2. Did you watch Season 1 of Star Wars Visions?
I did, and some of them were
and some of them were great.
As long as you take it with the grain of salt, this isn't canon. These are just fun, Again, I think I say this almost every time we talk about Star Wars, especially with how Jon Favreau and Filoni do this. I love with Mandalorian that it feels like you have little kids playing Star Wars in a sandbox with their toys and whatnot. And that's what Star Wars Vision reminds me of. It's getting to play with your Star Wars toys, make up your own stories. You can have a rock concert in space. You can have all this stuff happen. I did too. But you could do that as a 4 or 5-year-old. You can do that. So getting to see these people use their imaginations and not do retellings, but just make the Star Wars universe their own, I think is really cool. And it's awesome at Lucasfilm and Disney allow these studio houses around the world to have that autonomy to make those stories. Like I said, it's just something fun to watch. If you don't like them, it doesn't. Like I said, I didn't like a couple of them. Some of them were great. The Ronin one was awesome, and I would love to see if that could ever become canon somehow. Obviously, it's not going to look the same, but there's really cool stuff. But yeah, I'm excited. I'll definitely watch season 2 as well, and I'm sure I'll like some of it and not like some of the others. And you just ignore the parts you don't like, I guess. But
Ronin was incredible. I really want to read the book. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
I haven't either, and I think the big thing is because I'm so focused on getting through my canon books on my bookshelf that I just haven't picked up Ronin yet.
And I remember reading early reports that Lucasfilm said they wanted to let the imagination of the studios take it however they want and do whatever they wanted. There was some talk about testing the waters in a non-canon way to see if they would go into canon. I would not hate that because there were a couple that were great. And obviously I don't think Lucasfilm would go overboard like a Jabba the Hutt rock band type thing on Tatooine. I don't think we'd get something like that, but more like Ronin, or I really liked the Twins episode.
That one was awesome too, yeah.
And also the one with the old Sith, or whatever he was at that time. That one was also really great. Yeah. I'll watch it. It's slated to end up on Disney Plus in early 2023.
Yeah.
Things get delayed. We'll see. There hasn't been any news since then.
Yeah.
But now we definitely go up as we're going to talk about the Bad Batch Season 2 as we got a trailer for it. I was literally driving to the Cape when the Bad Batch trailer dropped and I was pissed. Because I'm like, of course, the one time I actually do something in my life, the Bad Batch trailer drops. And what an incredible setup this is. They really, it shows some time has changed. There's new armor colors. We know what's the name of the Wookiee? That's the
Buryaga.
No, Buryaga is from High
Buryaga.
Republic. That's from High Republic.
God. Oh my god! I can't believe I just did that. I'll look it up.
we're getting
I
the
should know this.
return of Commander Cody as what is slated to be the lead antagonist. Um, it's really setting up to be a really good. It looks like the stakes.
Gungi, Gungi,
Yes,
Gungi,
Gungi.
Gungi.
Which is so great. I am very excited for this season.
Yeah, I am too. I think I definitely had some episodes. I was like, "Oh my god, we're still doing this show." For Bad Batch season 1, and then there were some awesome episodes. I was like, "Holy crap, this is just awesome Star Wars storytelling." Very excited for season 2. Obviously, we don't know what's happened to Commander Cody since the end of episode 3. So the fact that it seems like he's going to be the main antagonist in this, I'm super excited about because Commander Cody is just he reminds me a little bit like Boba Fett, where like take take the Clone Wars out of it. Like we didn't know much about him from the prequels because he's really only in episode 3 essentially, right? So it's gonna be cool to see him like more fleshed out. And Boba Fett's probably a bad comparison because like we just didn't know much about Boba Fett in the original trilogy either. But I'm excited to see him be an antagonist, have more lines, interact with the Bad Batch, and I'm sure there'll be some episodes that are going to feel like filler, even though I agree we always talk about there's no filler episodes, but there were some that will feel like filler. Which I did feel like that for season 1. There was a couple that I was like, I didn't really need this. But now that you have the Bad Batch with Omega really solidified as their team, it's going to be cool to see how they interact with Cody. Do they save him at any point? Are they able to get his inhibitor trip out? Are they able to turn him? Probably not, but it'll be exciting to see what happens, and I'm very pumped for it.
My prediction is Rex will kill Cody.
Oh, that would
I
hurt
think
me.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna
That
hurt.
would hurt me real bad.
Yes. I do not believe we got an exact date for that yet. It's not saying it on the list I'm reading.
No, I think it's this year though. I think it's
I believe it's gonna be October or November.
I bet you'll be that, yeah.
But yes, I'm excited for it. We're probably, for this at least, when we do our episodes, we're probably going to do 2 or 3 at a time. We won't make you sit through a 20-minute episode of us talking about a 20-minute show. That's not fair to you guys.
Yeah.
The next one, and this, well, I'm going to save my my biases until my true biases until the end. Star Wars: Tales of the Jedi, and we have had hints and like whispers of something like this, of a new animated show from Lucasfilm Animation for probably 3 years, and we finally know what it is, and it sounds incredible.
I'm so pumped for this, dude.
Dave Filoni is working back, doing what he does great, and Tales of the Jedi is going to be an animated anthology series, and it's taking its credit from Dark Horse Comics from 1992.
Yeah. Yep.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, what you're saying. Yep.
And it's going to follow multiple Jedi across the prequel era, confirming certain episodes devoted to both Mace Windu, Count Dooku, and Qui-Gon Jinn. I believe everyone gets 3 episodes or 4 episodes. It's something like that. Liam Neeson is slated to return as Qui-Gon Jinn, and Michael Neeson is going to play the Padawan and youngling version, who is Liam Neeson's son. On top of that, the other section we're getting is the Ahsoka part of Tales of the Jedi, where we're going to get 3 stories of her, one from her youngling days, youngling
before
days.
She's even in the order,
when Plo Koon finds her. I think we're going to get the actual story of Plo Koon finding her.
Yeah.
One story of her before she's assigned to Anakin, and what looks like, and this is incredible, they're going to be animating her book, which I am very
I don't think I knew that part. That's cool.
Because they showed the concept art of Ahsoka standing against the Inquisitor that she makes her white blades from. And I thought there was one more. I know it's like the two. It's supposed to mainly follow Ahsoka and Count Dooku and Jedi Order Count Dooku.
Yeah.
And this has a lot of promise. This is almost like a canon what if for me.
But it's real, and it's gonna be.
Well, what if is technically canon as well, just not in 616.
But this is in the main universe,
exactly.
So like that's what's cool. No, I'm. This is probably out of the things that got announced during Star Wars Celebration. That's probably the thing I'm second most excited about. I think it's very easy to poo-poo the prequels, obviously, right? But as like children who grew up, that was our introduction for a lot of us in Star Wars. Like I know for me it was. Obviously, I watched the original trilogy stuff on DVD back in the day and VHS. But the prequels were brand new when I was a kid, and that was awesome. So to have more stories about these prequel characters that I love, like Ahsoka. I've said this multiple times. I love Qui-Gon Jinn. He's one of my favorite characters because I remember him igniting that green blade. It was the second movie I ever watched was The Phantom Menace after Return of the Jedi. So I thought every good guy had a green blade. Just really, really cool. And the fact that you have like these big stars coming back to voice their characters in an animated show is pretty special, I think, especially when you have someone like Liam. So very excited. And his son coming in too, playing a young version.
Very cool.
Awesome. I like that we're going to get to see their youngling days. It's not just going to be them as their big, powerful Jedi. Like the fact that we might, or it seems like we're going to get to see Plo Koon to like recruit and save Ahsoka is really exciting. To get young Qui-Gon is exciting. I love to see like stories of Dooku as a Jedi. Like I don't have it and I haven't read it yet, but I'm dying to read that or listen to that audio series they did where he was a Jedi. Just really cool stuff. So I'm very excited for this animated series. I love the Jedi. It's gonna be cool to have more Jedi animated and more Jedi stories.
I'm going to take the liberty of guessing Ashley Eckstein returning as animated Ahsoka.
I would have to guess.
I would take a while, a while.
If they did, that would be rude. Unless they get like little Ahsoka, maybe. You can get away
little
with that
Ahsoka might be a child, but
which is fine. That's fine.
But the other two stories, yes. Anything else to add to Tales of the Jedi?
No, very excited for it though.
Yes, and the next one, well, I said no biases for me yet. Ahsoka. We didn't. I believe there was a look at Comic-Con, but we have not been given it yet. I know there was also a Mandalorian Season 3 trailer that was someone leaked it. It looks awesome.
I saw that the other day.
It looks incredible. We'll talk about that too. But Ahsoka, the main thing, we did get confirmation. They're looking for Ezra. Thrawn is going to be in it. And we officially have confirmation on who is playing Sabine Wren. We know that it's going to be played by Australian actress Natasha Liu Bordizzo. I think she looks great for the role. I think that's exactly how I would have pictured Sabine. We know Hayden Christensen is returning. That was prior. They have cast Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is the wife of Ewan McGregor. But she's also a very incredible actress in her own way. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
You're bearing the lead here, Cliff.
I know. We're going to get there. I'm going through everything else before we get to the star. I'm trying to think if they've attached anyone else, but I think Mary Winstead is going to be Hera. That's my prediction.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
We're going to talk about the star of the show, Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano. They fixed her lekkus.
Oh, that's not who I was talking about, but that's okay.
The star of the show. Oh, Chopper?
Yeah, they brought a live action Chopper.
Talking about the war criminal?
They brought out a live action Chopper, and it was awesome to see him rolling on stage next to Rosario. That was awesome to see.
And I think this is going to be the show.
I'm excited for this, man.
I think that's the best way to say it. This is going to be the show. It's fully Dave Filoni, I believe, writing and directing. I mean, it makes sense. This is his literal
baby
child. I mean, I could picture them doing flashbacks in this over Kenobi, because this is like, I think the way to look at it is whenever there's like a sequel era show, picture that as real time. Where like Kenobi was like a flashback. Where now we're in The Mandalorian, we're in Ahsoka, where it's in the modern timeline.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I'd rather see flashbacks in this than in Obi-Wan.
I agree.
We've seen Hayden and we've seen Ewan act together. I want to see live action Ahsoka, live action Anakin interact. That's what I want to see. So like, I'm pumped about this. I'm pumped about this show. Obviously, I have said this multiple times. I love Rebels. So the fact that we're getting some live action Rebels here is great. The only concern I have a little bit is there's been some rumblings online that like Rebels isn't appointment viewing in order to enjoy this show. So that gets me a little bit nervous because I want there to be a big Rebels consistency, but I also get why you can't, because for a lot of people, their introduction to Ahsoka might have been Mandalorian Season 2, not Rebels, not Clone Wars, anything like that. So we'll see. I just hope it's a good balance. I hope there's some things in there that, like, if you watch Clone Wars, if you watch Rebels, that little scene, that little line, that little look, that's for you. That's for you,
Dave Filoni. It's going to be.
I hope so, because that's why I said about Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. I love that they expected that you watched WandaVision. I get why you can't do this, so I don't need it to be like that. But I hope there's, like you said, those little hints and nods like, hey, you watched Rebels, you got this, you got it, buddy, you're good. But no, this is probably No, I think I'm still more excited about Mando season 3, but that's because it's the continuation of that story. Like, and I know this is a continuation a little bit of this story in Rebels, but still just excited. Rosario killed it. I was not really nervous when we found out she was going to play live action Ahsoka, and when the episode finally happened, the Jedi that we see her, it just solidified why I wasn't nervous, because she was incredible for the role, and she is incredible for the role. So I'm excited to see it. My one self complaint for Cameron Ramos is I actually saw the Rosario Dawson Black Series Ahsoka action figures yesterday, and I don't know why I just didn't buy them. That was stupid.
How dare you?
Really mad at myself for that.
What if part of the series is about like Anakin's ghost redeeming himself and teaching Ahsoka how to gain the ghost?
If we have a ghost Anakin,
I think
that would be sick.
And what if
that'd be better than flashback? That'd be way better than flashback.
What if that's the way he redeems himself, and it's about Ahsoka still being angry and like trying to forgive him for what it was, and teaching her how to become a Force ghost?
No, let me ask you this: if we see Force ghost Anakin, do you think that will be Ahsoka's first time seeing him, or you think
first
he's been trying to connect? Yeah, I think he'll be trying to connect with him, and she's like "F you" kind of thing. But actually, probably not. I don't think she would. If she realizes that Anakin came back to the good side, she's very accepting. So
I don't think she would have. I think he wouldn't appear to her until she was ready.
That's true. Yeah, that's a bad take on my part. Yeah, that's a lot better. Very excited.
Yes, I am going to take the liberty and skip Andor, as we have talked about it a lot in the past couple weeks. And we're going to talk
about it a lot.
And you are getting at least 6 episodes of it when we'll be talking. We're going to do double up for those episodes. The next, I'm going to jump quickly. Willow. Is it going to be a TV show or a movie? That's a great question for myself. I like Warwick Davis. I might watch it. I have not decided yet. We will see.
I can guarantee you this. There is a 0% chance that if this podcast talks about it, that I will be on those podcasts, because I might watch it. There's no way I'm going to give anything insightful to this. I could care less. I don't know anything about Willow besides like the cast of who's in it, and that's nothing against Willow. If you're a Willow fan, great. It's just that the first time I even heard Willow was a thing when they're like, "Oh, we're revamping it into a TV show for Disney Plus." I was like, I don't know what that is to even revamp. Sorry, is what it is.
We're saving Mandalorian season 3 for last. We're talking about, now I will be biased, something that is the most interesting announcement we have seen, and is Star Wars Skeleton Crew.
This is going to be cool. I'm excited
This is going to be cool. I'm going to preface it by saying it is starring Jude Law as the main character. And it follows a group of kids who are about 10 years old who get lost in the Star Wars universe on a ship.
We talk a lot about, not a lot, but we talk about people who do the trifecta of the Disney for like Disney, Star Wars, and Marvel. Is he going to be the first Marvel, Star Wars, Harry Potter? No, right?
I am not sure.
He's Dumbledore.
We don't talk about that.
He's bad guy in
yes, he is
Captain Marvel. And now this.
He needs Disney animation. He has a voice for Disney animation. I don't get how he hasn't gotten that yet. Yes, he might be the first of that. Or is it Tonks? She was Tonks. She was the pink Twi'lek in Star Wars.
Yeah, what would she have been in Marvel?
She wasn't in anything in Marvel, no.
No, I don't think so.
So, interesting. That's a good one.
But definitely Hallow.
Christopher Ford will be writing it, who is the screenplay writer of Spider-Man Homecoming, as well as the horrible movie starring Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley called Chaos Walking. Would not watch it. And it will be directed by John Watts. Cool. I think this sounds so cool. We'll have more when the kids get announced. I'm guessing we're going to get some pretty famous kids for it.
What I really like about this is the fact that like they have said, yes, there are kids in this. This is not a kid's show. And that's what gets me excited, because like, what messed up thing are you going to put in with these poor kids? Like, what's going to happen? I'm very excited about this. Like, the Skeleton Crew is such like an ambiguous name, because obviously you can think of it as like, oh, Skeleton Crew is like when there's not a lot of people working kind of thing. But like, if this show isn't going to be for the kids, like, does that Skeleton Crew name mean anything more?
Did you ever read Star Wars Galaxy of Fear?
No.
It followed a Force-sensitive girl and her brother as they escaped Alderaan when it exploded, and it goes through all the horrors of the Star Wars universe. It is like
No, that's
ingrained, and that's what this reminds me of. I think
that'd
that's
be
why I'm
cool.
so excited for it. But Galaxy of Fear, you should honestly read them, even though they're not canon. They're great. And the final,
It's a
last but
book,
not
right?
least,
Like an actual book.
it's like a bunch of YA books. They're
Oh,
great.
cool. Okay, I didn't know if it was a comic. So
They're
okay, I'll
really
definitely
they're
check those
skinny,
out.
I believe, too.
I'll check those out.
Finally, Mandalorian season 3. There wasn't a ton to talk about until we got the spoiler trailer that Disney flew through Twitter copywriting over and over
Barely
again.
saw it.
But I
Barely
saw it.
Just saw it.
It looks really cool.
I don't know what happened in it, but it looked cool.
It was a lot of action.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It looks like there's going to be a lot of Mandalorians this season. But what we do know from what's coming is Bo-Katan is coming back with a vengeance, and she is going to be maybe not a villain, but she's going to be the lead antagonist of this season. Are we going to see the end of Bo-Katan? I don't know, but it looks like they're going back to their Mandalorian roots, like season 1 roots for this, which I think is going to be really good.
Well, season 2 was good too, and I love season 1.
It was, but it was a lot of cameos, and I'm excited for Alden.
I hope so, yeah. And I'm pumped for this. This is probably my favorite show I've ever watched, and I know that changes, like, obviously, but like the more I think about it, like this might be my favorite TV show ever. If you ask me what my favorite shows are, it probably would mix between Game of Thrones and this. But this hasn't had a season finale that really hurt me in like a not positive way, like a storytelling way, just like that sucked. I love Mandalorian. I love Star Wars. What Filoni and Favreau and all these directors, excuse me, and the actors too that have put the show together has just been nothing short of amazing. The end of season 2 blew my mind when you had Luke Skywalker there, and obviously you had him in Book of Boba Fett 2, which was Mando 2.5. Just really cool. The story really captured my heart, and I'm excited for the next phase of it. And I get to see my little guy Grogu, because that's always a good time. Always, always, always a good time when you see Grogu.
Yes, and I am excited for this.
I'm also excited for more Ludwig music. I'm pumped for more Ludwig music.
I'm always down for that, as I'm going to see, because the website did not say it, if I can spell Mandalorian. There we go. And we are actually getting this in 2022.
Yeah.
When? Great question. You can ask those.
If I was a betting man of when I thought we were going to get this, I would say December 28th, right before Christmas, or December 21st, which is a Wednesday right before Christmas. Or if they switch it just for like that one time only for that Friday release, you could have it on the 23rd, which is a Friday, right before Christmas Eve. I bet you it's going to come late then. I think the show is easily going to run into 2023. There's no way it doesn't, in my opinion.
I agree, and there also is exciting news. The true man of the DeLorean himself, Christopher Lloyd, will be joining this season of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. Great Scott.
Yeah.
And I think that does it. I'm not going to talk about the video games. I would talk about Indiana Jones 5, but we won't. Happy birthday, Harrison Ford. That was 2 weeks ago, but still. Cam, any last things? What are you most looking forward to that's new? So not Mandalorian season 3.
I would probably say Skeleton Crew, and the only reason for that is because like there's so much unknown about it, and that's what I'm excited about. Of course, there's unknown in Ahsoka. Of course, there's unknown in Andor and Bad Batch. Like obviously, the stories haven't been told, so of course, there's nothing to know. But Skeleton Crew is so ominous, and like we have no footage, no real cast besides Jude Law. Like it's the one that's the most clouded in mystery, and that's why I think I'm the most excited for it from this list.
And it's a good group of people that are working on it.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it.
And Jude Law's high enough up there acting-wise at this point where he's probably going to be a lead producer on it like Ewan was.
Probably, yeah.
But Cam, this is it. We finally talked about Star Wars Celebration. Where can people talk to you on social media if they want to discuss all this?
Yeah, you can definitely reach out to me on Twitter at CamRamos95. Where can they find you, Cliff?
They can find me at CP Robinson81. And your favorite part of the podcast, Cam, where can they find the show?
You can find us on Twitter at Stream the Mouse. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Streaming with the Mouse. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and our YouTube channel. Just be sure to search for Streaming with the Mouse, Disney Plus podcast. When you're on those sites, please make sure to like, rate, review, subscribe, 5 stars, all the above to those different platforms so we can get more listeners on this. We have a lot more fun episodes coming up. The next episode you'll hear us next week is we're going to talk about Disney Plus at the Emmys. We're going to talk about all the nominations that came through a couple weeks ago. And we're going to talk more in depth. We're going to give some predictions, what we think might be able to win, some snubs, some Marvels and Star Wars, especially snubs. I'm going to really heavy imply that Marvel, I think, got some snubs. But excited to talk about that with you all next week. So thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. Have a magical day. May the force be with you.
Get ready, because I'm doing more than just Disney nominations. I'm giving my actual predictions.
There we go. Okay, there we go.